following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.
After some power issues that came into play Tuesday night, taking the captain out of action, we come back to you on a Thursday night. Have a little fun here in the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing. It is the Masters of the Draft Series. And as always, presented by Vet2Track as we come to you from Atlanta Motor Speedway, the penultimate round of this season that has seen dramatic racing, a lot of great battles, different winners, and tonight could be one of the last wild cards before the big 500-mile race next week at Talladega Super Speedways. We get you ready tonight, 250 miles at the hybrid super speedway known as Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm the captain. We welcome you in on this Thursday as we get ready to go for 163 laps. And what is going to be a pretty wild race when it is all said and done here this evening. Let's take a look at the point standings as we enter tonight. Jason Branch leading right now by 12 over Greg Thompson. And I'm going to double check to make sure that is up to date because I did an update on the points going into this race. It is up to date, so we're good there. 12 points between Branch and Thompson. Gilbert 29 back after his win last week in iRacing Super Speedway. Scott Wise, Eddie Rorardi there in the top 5. Branch doing a good job of holding on, and we'll see if he can do so here tonight going to Talladega next week. The overall championship, it is Wells versus Gilbert pretty much. 66 points, and then there's everybody else. And then team points, unless otherwise told, looks like it's going to be a G Lightning type of season as they lead the team points by a really big margin. They've pretty much already clinched that championship when it is all said and done. Let's take a look at the schedule. As I mentioned, 2 races left here after tonight. One race after tonight, I should say. Atlanta Motor Speedway down here at the bottom. And then April 8th, Tuesday night, a race that thank you to, they didn't have to do this, by the way, but thank you to Scott Wise and Lauren. They have named it the Captain eSports Network 500. So very appreciative and a real cool deal there. So 188 laps coming up Tuesday night from Talladega to crown the overall master of the draft, and we'll see who will win the Gen 6 block of the Masters of the Draft. Practice just about to wrap up here momentarily, and we'll go into qualifying, which as always is presented by GB22 Designs. You're looking for a design on your car, or I guess almost everything, just reach out to Joe Wells and he will paint you up a car. As a matter of fact, as you see his G Lightning team, well, most of them, as Shane Ward's practicing going backwards. He's doing his Kurt Busch lap there. Joe Wells has painted up his Corvette paint schemes for his G Lightning team. He did all those paints himself and plenty others here in the race here tonight. So that is GB22, as Shane's still testing out the roof flaps apparently. But they will, Joe is sponsored the qualifying, which is starting now. As I said, who's going to be the first one out on track? Now, about this Gen 4 car here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, I don't have any notes. And I keep calling it a Gen 4 car, Gen 6 car. And that's because this car never ran on this hybrid speedway, but we can just take notes from every other car we've watched on this track. Likely going to be about tire wear and nursing that right front tire around this track, especially as it goes later on into the evening time here. Going to be about preserving that right front tire because you're going to get some long runs. We do got stage racing tonight, which will go to stage 33 and 81 onto the finish of the race. So if you get some long green flag runs here, you definitely want to keep that right front under you so you do have some traction down in that bottom lane, or else you're going to be sliding off the track, and it's going to make it very tough to hold that throttle down. And the winner of tonight's race is the guy that can hold it wide open the longest and be able to maintain that clean air and run up front. As this track ages, it's going to become more and more of a handling track. Yes. In real life, we're at year number 4 of this whole shindig. On iRacing, obviously, we are still a couple seasons ago, so like season 1 or 2 of this track. Shane Ward's already posted a time, 30.81. That is the time to beat right now. Sniper, 31.14, going to be P2. Jason Branch, as all the cars are going to cross the line here for the first time. 2 laps of qualifying, they can go below the red line, as there's not really an out of bounds in qualifying because you can't really police it. You have somebody strictly watching all the cars in a short time period. Tim Shiflett, for a second, was on the pole, and Shane Ward back to a 30.63 now. As these cars reach it by themselves, speed of 187 miles an hour. Jason Branch to second as Picklesheimer jumps up there to 30.55. Brian Hayes jumps up there as Condon up to 5th. Greg Thompson up to 3rd. Al Likens up to 4th. The usual guys up here at the front. Here in qualifying. A little bit of a haze over the track here. As it gets darker, that haze should fade away a little bit. Josh McKinney 12th after his first lap. Here he is in the Wrangler, or Bet the Track Wrangler throwback paint scheme. One in the bottom right there in 1 and 2. Right on that red line. Josh hit about 100 and I think I saw a spark of 83 miles an hour into turn 3 and 4. These cars definitely going a lot faster than the next gen car here at this track. As he crosses the line, he goes to 7:30.58. And the only car left on track is the Bet the Track guy himself, Travis Gilbert. And he's going to pull her down. We still got 2 minutes left in qualifying. He's the one car. Well, we got Sam Taylor out there right now. We can ride with him now. It's number 9 car. He's in the green. Got that Casey Kane throwback on that 9. Mountain Dew car. As he crosses the line, he goes P2 30.56. I'm sorry, that is the Chase Elliott throwback, not the Casey one. I had to look at the outside of the car before I should have said something. My bad. Now Gilbert out there as he, I believe he did not cross the start-finish line, or did he? If he did, then that first lap's already going to count this time by, so he needs to get this car up to speed really quickly. Across the line this time by. We still got about 40 seconds left. He does have to get a lap on the board for the league rules, or else he'll be ineligible for some prizes and stuff like that at the end of the race, like the Superior Templating Hard Charger Award. Travis will get a lap in 31.31. And there it is. Time has run out. So Dylan Picklesheimer, the pole sitter tonight here for the Atlanta penultimate race presented by GB22 Designs. Again, hit up Joe Wells for all your paint scheme and graphic needs with GB22. All right, let's go trackside for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, field rolling out as we take a look at the starting lineup here. They are rolling out, I promise you. There we go. Starting lineup. Dylan Picklesheimer, Sam Taylor on the pole, front row there. Jason Branch looking to hold on to that points lead. He's got Greg Thompson, who is outside. Al Likens, Joe Wells, row 3. Scott Wise, Josh McKinney, row 4. Row 5, AJ Condon, Tim Shiflett. And there's the rest of your field. Ward Hudson, Hayes, Melnick, Gilbert, and Ryan Wilson. Stages tonight, 33 and 81. And again, no cautions for the stage break. 72 degrees, 96% humidity, hence why there's a little bit of a haze in the sky. But there's also some cars on the track. As we get ready to rock and roll, 2 races to go in the season. Who brings home the Masters of the Draft trophy presented by Vet the Track? We find out in 2 weeks, but first, who conquers the Atlanta Motor Speedway as we go green? Our camera is presented by TrackCams22.com. You check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. The good news, we have already made it farther than the last time we raced here with the green flag. As Picklesheimer out to the front. Jason Branch going to line up there behind him. Sam Taylor there, 3rd position. As these cars get up the song. Kind of curious like everybody else is right now. How fast are these cars going to go in the draft here? Picklesheimer going to lead lap number 1. Branch there in 2nd. Inside line, Al Likens pushing there. Outside line, Greg Thompson pushing the 9. And all that handling has to be maintained. That right front tire on that car, as this track gets darker and darker, going to get cooler, it's going to put a lot more pressure on the right front. Everybody hanging on to the draft for the most part. Looks like Melnick and Shiflett have lost out. And James Hudson's already fallen off the draft here, so that's what you got to be careful of. You have a field of about 16 cars here. The more patience these guys show, the more you do not want to lose this draft, because they will catch you real quickly and put you a lap down. You're going to need some help tonight to stay on the lead lap. DuPont car, Scott Wise, a different paint scheme for him. Oh, he gets in the back of his teammate Thompson there, gets a little shaky. Save on brake start. A little bit of an early push there. Checks up the inside line. Got 3 cars, 4 cars now lining up that outside lane. You can make that lane work, but you got to pinch down that bottom lane. But it's early in this race, so you don't want to do something like that. It's a matter of how organized you are. Travis Gilbert up there on that top side. Shane Ward starting to line up that top side. You see the other cars that have already lost the front pack here. Complete. Appreciate everybody joining us here on this special Thursday night edition here on the Captain eSports Network. Simon leading from the start. Top speed I'm seeing in the draft, it looks like right now, 197 miles an hour out of Scott Wise. I'm seeing Josh McKinney. You can't officially say that's the speed, but according to my SDK Gaming, what it's saying, 197. It's actually, let's throw up the old number and let's see what we get here. This is Josh McKinney, that 24 car right there. Longest part of the straightaway right here. This should be where you get max speed. We're only getting 183 there, so something, either some fuel save or something going on there. Just some patience in the draft. Well, Brian Hayden, check back here with him. You know he's got it floored right now, trying to stay up there in the pack. That's a lot higher. Jason Branch has gone to the lead as that power team, which seems like here in this Gen 6 season, the French boys pushing each other up to the front. 1, 2, 3 right now. It's Thompson and Wise. Seems like each block of racing so far we've had this season has had different teams kind of taking over. The first couple blocks, it was the G Lightning guys, and then you saw the TNT boys, and then the last couple of weeks or a couple of blocks, and now it seems like this Gen 6 block has belonged to the Ford French guys. But let's not forget that 37 car up there on the top, 12 and 25. Picklesheimer and Likens for a rough final race of the last block. You could have easily had Al Likens and Picklesheimer 1-2 in the Gen 4 block, but unfortunately Al Likens had a rough race at Talladega and fell to, I believe it was 4th in the standings before it was all said and done. But look at that outside line, is doing some work. Ooh, little door bang in there. That's where it gets tight here. Dylan puts it up front. Hudson, Melnick, and Shiflett checking them. They're about a quarter straightaway back. 10 seconds, 11 seconds now. So 3 of Hudson, Melnick, and Shiflett. This is a tradition for Shiflett. As usually we'll ride back here and wait out, see if a caution happens. Right now, 12 laps caution free here. Taking notes like everybody else is. Very unknown with what we're trying to get here. I mean, I'm expecting the right front tire will wear out a lot. It's going to make a push in this car, and I see that you know what, spoiler, working with Dale Jr. in that back of that car. Probably going to create these a little bit of tight in this car. It's a great unknown about this Gen 4 car. These guys are Gen 6 car. I'm starting to put a diamond I call it a Gen 4 car. The practices these guys put on, obviously, sure these guys learned a lot with their team practices if they had any. And know what to expect come 30, 35, 40 laps down the road here. There we go. Nearly 60 laps on a tank of fuel here, so you've got to preserve that right front tire. And Taylor in the 9. Winner from iRacing Super Speedway, Travis Gilbert, 38. 8th position, I should say, in that 22 car. With a Rusty Wallace throwback, if you will. It's MGD paint. Ooh, Likens up in the outside wall. Ooh, easy, boys. That car starts getting tight, we talked about. Ooh, little door bang in there. Everybody okay and moving on here, so that was the first sketchy moment of the night, but that's going to put these top 5 cars single file now. We'll see if they can get away. Appreciate the viewers coming to hang out here this evening. Pass the word on to your friends and family or whatever. We got some great racing here on this Thursday evening. Biggest mover so far is Gilbert, up 8 spots to 7th. He did get a lap in qualifying, so he is eligible for the Superior Templating Hard Charger Award later on in the race. Most positions gained by a driver not known as the winner. Condon there pushing him, Gilbert up there with him. Oh, little door banging. Oh, some more contact. They let the 9 back up the track. They do. Good respectful racing there at the end, getting everybody up on track safely. Taylor able to hold on to that draft. Kind of puts everybody back single file here in the front. Almost every spot, all the way back to 11, top 10, now top 12, 13, all 13 cars in this lead pack. 14 cars, whatever it is, single file now. 13 laps to go, it's each one. Is Atlanta, hey, good question. Because they talk about this being a hybrid super speedway, to like Daytona and Talladega. Of course, you got the group out there. It's like the Sydney Super Speedway. Then you got the group out there. Yeah, it is Super Speedway. What if we called this the short track of Super Speedway? Yeah, they call Watkins Glen the Super Speedway of road courses. Richmond's the Super Speedway of short tracks or Speedway of short tracks. What if Atlanta's now the short track of super speedways? Just a thought. Thompson and Wise out there leading. Picklesheimer to 4th, Gilbert now there in the 5th position. Time's kind of falling off here a little bit. I think the handling's now coming into play a little bit here. Most of the cars now in the 32nd bracket, if not high 29s. Pack of Shiflett and Hudson. Unfortunately, they are not really making any way. 30-42 for Melnick last time by, and 30-13 for the leaders. Thompson showed it. Daytona, he can definitely push a car out there into the clean air. careful. Watch that car that's on that bottom side, because you just never know when you might lose the nose and it pushes up the track into the car on the outside, which could be you. Thompson up the track, losing the nose a little bit there in the 08. Might be inside draft in the 22. Thompson, a pretty good super speedway racer, so he might be easily just sliding up the track purposely and just get some air off that 22 and bring it back. Problem is, all that's doing is opening up the range a little bit, and it's going to allow those cars to come right back up to him. You look at that outside line, it has kind of dissolved a little bit together there about the end of going into turn one, but sure Thompson and Wise and those guys in the channel telling, hey JB, stay right down on that red, white, and blue line. Their colors those are. Oh, and look at this, the 08 slid up more, and here comes Picklesheimer to the bottom now. Really wonder if that 08's getting tight. At first I was wondering if he could be sliding up there and taking the side draft off of the 22, but now seeing that, I can't help but wonder if the 08's tight on the bottom there, not being in clean air. I'm really intrigued by what I'm seeing here. You can definitely see the cars are not handling. And 4 laps to go next time by in stage number 1. 33 laps. Thompson gets that lap. Gilbert trying to do a torque wrench split, not able to do it. But he does push Thompson out to the front now, as Branch might have got himself in a sucker hole. 3 wide. Here comes the 5 to second to make that third, as Gilbert's going to go to the lead. Now they really get racy here. Thompson down there on the bottom. There's Joe Wells now jumping into the pack again. I mentioned that Corvette paint scheme. You can just see the cars that are pushing up. Oh, that's tight. Ooh, 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 beating and banging. 4 wide and wrecking. Wells, Picklesheimer, Shane Ward involved. It looks like the 08 also getting damage of Greg Thompson. And that brings caution out for the first time. On lap 32. What happened here? I mean, they were 3 wide there. Branch goes 4 wide, and they just squeezed in. Ooh, Likens with some damage. Scott Wise with some damage. Ryan Wilson with damage. El Blimpola. I mean, they're already tight right there. A little contact, and Branch gets to run topside. Nice job by Taylor to miss that. I mean, that almost got bad for the 9. Let's ride with him here for a second. might have got grazed right there, but otherwise he's through it. Great job on his part. As Travis Gilbert going to lead him back to the start-finish line here. And this is going to be tricky. Here comes the end of lap 32. And make that the end of lap 33. Who comes to pit road here? And who says, I want stage points? And Gilbert going to be the one that says, I want stage points. And because of that, our wise guy iRacing Graphics stage 1 winner right there. Travis Gilbert in a 22 car. Getting crucial 10 points. AJ Condon, Jason Branch, Greg Thompson, Brian Hayes getting 6 points. So nice job by Brian. And then the rest of that will be filtered out by the rules. One of these guys here will get all the rest of the points. Or a few of these guys. That was some pretty wild racing. So these cars that have stayed out are going to have to stay out here because of that caution. We hope for a quick yellow after that. See Brian Hayes coming to pit road. Is pit road open for him? Because usually if you don't come in that first time around, you get one to go this time by. Pits are closed, so Brian might have to serve a penalty here. Gilbert's going to take the outside lane. Trying to lunch. Oh, well, it looks like Joe, especially, going to try to get the damage fixed on that 3 car without having to use a reset. And there he is leaving the pits. So the car looks pretty clean, so he might have went ahead and used it. Now, I did get the question asked, of course, next week being the 500-mile race at Talladega. You know, the question was asked, hey, Cap, is these guys going to have one reset or more? Because usually it's one reset. I found out from Scott Wise this week, it is one. So they will have the one reset they usually have, and that'll be it. So something tells me Tuesday night we might have a little more patience. We hope at least. So stage 2 takes them to halfway, which is lap 81. This 250-miler here tonight is Travis Gilbert going to lead him to the green. AJ Condon, Jason Branch, Greg Thompson, and Josh McKinney, your top 5, as green is back out. Ryan Hayes back on pit road. This is probably the penalty for him pitting. With the pits closed, he waited for the green purposely and came to pit road right away, which is exactly how I do it when I'm dumb enough to make that penalty call. But I'm not going to blame Ryan for that. He had to do what he had to do in that situation. For me, I've just made dumb moves like that. AJ Condon to the lead. Get fuel in that tank. I totally understand that rule. Now he's got to hope for a caution to come out real quick. Ooh, he almost got it right there. Condon about got it to 22. Great job by Gilbert to be aware. Hayes leaving pit road now after that pit stop. As look at Scott Wise to the top side. Hayes is on track, but he's right in front of this pack, so he's already a lap and 3/4 down. Ward up to the second position. Look at a third place car on the outside lane. James Hudson. Remember, he was 20 seconds back in another pack right before the caution, and now he is in the third position ready to pounce in that Miller Lite throwback from the late 90s, early 2000s of Rusty Wallace. We have 14 of the 16 stars on the lead lap here. Come up on the back of Ryan Hayes. Let's see what he does here. He's staying on the line right now, which is his right to do, but this is going to get sketchy. Ooh, boys. He decides to pull down and get out of the way here on the back straightaway. Say he was actually doing a great job of maintaining the speed there. Outside line taking control here. Top 7 cars now going single file. That 5 pushing up the track. But you got to remember, AJ has not pitted since the start of the race here, so he's got some older tires. That car's probably pretty tight right now. As a matter of fact, most of the cars you're seeing falling back right now are the ones that have not come to pit road with the older tires here. So this is where you're seeing tire wear coming into play now. Front 6 cars all came to pit road under that caution. Not to mention the damage on some of these cars too you got to look into. As look at Hudson with help from Picklesheimer. Matter of fact, that's 1, 2, 3 outside lane TNT. Couple cars scattered. I think we're going to have pit stops here. Branch and Gray Thompson. Remember, iRacing, you now have to pit in turn 3 here at this speedway, just like you do on the NASCAR side. The difference is you don't have to slow down to like 30 miles an hour or whatever it is in that lane. I think it's 90 actually in real life. See the others come to pit road here. So that was 43, 44 laps for Branch and Thompson, percentage of fuel in the car. So that's a pretty good guesstimation here of how long you can actually go on a tank of fuel with tires. And Thompson or I should say Branch and Thompson. Looks like a penalty for the 08 or getting some damage fixed. One of the two. I'm going to go with the second one, getting damage fixed probably. As he is going to lose a lap, make that 2 laps. And wrecking hard into the wall. McKinney and Condon. And just like that, that strategy for Branch and Thompson take a hit as caution number 2 comes out. Oh, the 5 got the outside wall, and oh. Five got the outside wall and ricocheted. Just kind of lost track of where he was on track and plowed right up in the outside wall. For Josh. Oh, definitely Grenada motor. He's going to come to pit road now as caution comes out for the second time. And this is going to be a great break for those cars that did not have to go, or did not choose to come to pit road under green flag, as you're going to see Branch and Thompson likely take wave rounds here along with Hayes, I would think, as the rest of the leaders come to pit road here. Race off pit road, Scott Wise going to be first. He's the only one that took 2 tires, if not fuel only. Melnick with, looks like 2 tires or fuel only, comes out third. Hudson, Ward, Gilbert, Likens, Wells, Taylor, and others either getting damage fixed or whatever they need to get done. Send a shout out to the Vet to Track team, of course, helping out veterans achieving their dreams and getting them out on the track, and of course helping with taking care of our veterans. The reason why Travis Gilbert wears the 22 on his car is because 22 veterans in a day and suicide, not a pretty number at all. We need that number to be 0. Make sure you help out supporting the vets, and a big shout out to Vet to Track for helping get those veterans out on the track, and a little bit of a racing simulating type of deal, and a bike and so on and so forth. So appreciate those guys for what they do, and also sponsoring the series. These car lights are out. Joe Wells today in Discord has shared apparently there is a situation going on between Lamar Jackson and Dale Jr. with the number 8, and we're chatting up about it. It's kind of funny. Scott's gonna blow a gasket, I think. Wise, Pickles, Simer, Hudson, Melnick, and Gilbert, your top 5 as we come to the green at lap 51. Melnick in that one car. Home track for him. It's over in the Brazelton area, which is over near the Road America. Road Atlanta track. At one point lived about 20 minutes south of me. Two cautions in the first 50 laps, not so bad. Been some great racing. There has been some contact. You guys have put on a pretty good show here so far. Oh, Gilbert having a little bit of a blinkage. Look out now. As Tim Shiflett has come to the pit road. Not sure 54 had a penalty or not. Pretty good room here in an outside lane, and this could be big if he falls through or whatever. Of course, ironically, he's got his teammate right there behind him who's battling for this overall championship. But if Gilbert falls through here, it could be game, set, match. Still blinking out, but he has fallen towards mid-pack, which most of the cars now single file right now. I think going to be patient a little bit here to get to lap 81. Now Hudson having a little bit of a blinking issue, I've just noticed. Tim Shiflett, the only car is 2 laps down. Picklesheimer, of course, the pole sitter for tonight's race, back up front now. Got his teammate James Hudson there with him, Scott Wise with Jill Wells. Good run so far. He and the King there 6th and 7th. But Mikey, Taylor, and Branch are top 10 now. Branch just came back on the lead lap. He and Thompson a few minutes ago after getting both their laps back out. The pit stop right before that caution came out. Of course, Thompson, I think, had some damage to get fixed. That's why he spent the little extra time on pit road. And they get some different strategies. Everyone, the races in this block have been 250 miles until next week's 500-mile race to finish it all out. For out there, some of the guys who run throughout this 24-race season. Final race, kind of celebrate. It's arguably one of the more creative series I've seen that any of the leagues have covered. Yeah, Super Speedway League's the Super Speedway League, but when you bring out 6 different cars and 4 blocks of racing, I said back at week 1, it was kind of like Mario Kart. Brian Hayes even tagging the wall back there. But AJ Condon has kind of lost the draft. I'm not sure if that's part of Gilbert's blinking. Maybe that's kind of hurt him a little bit there. But Travis is back at the back of the pack now. He does have Brian Hayes right behind him. I'm sure the guys are all communicating. That's for the first time tonight. Al Likens getting a lap led. Now from Sam Taylor and 9 car. Dre, hey, come me a rope. Push him. We got 18 to go here in this stage. How far these tires and fuel can get you. No matter if this is a 1-stop or a 2-stop race the rest of the way, or you got to get there a 3rd time. I see Jason Branch peeling off. Is he coming to pit road here? He sure is. Branch, who just came to pit road at lap 44, is pitting here at 65. And now stays out. Not sure what's going on here. Branch with some right side damage on the car, but points leader having some issues. Up here, 9th position, 23 car. He's got a real good run up the back straightaway. I'm not sure if there was some miscommunication, maybe, or something with Branch, maybe. That one thing I can think of is, did he think one of his teammates that lap and decided not to or something? It's just kind of weird to me. Branch is now out of the draft, 14 seconds back. Likens, Taylor, Hudson, Wise, and Wells, your top 5 here. 12 laps to go next time by in stage 2. Likens has led a very good amount of laps this season. Also has had a pretty decent campaign. I think his finishes might disagree with that a little bit. He's had some rough ones. He did get a win a couple weeks ago, but otherwise results definitely don't match up for the most part. throughout the season. Down in a 54 car. Led to serve some kind of penalty when he came to pit road in lap 51. He's not been able to recover. Now he's going to lose my number, the third lap here. Careful trying to get around. We check back here on AJ Condon, 16 seconds back now. Al Likens in the 13th position. Of course, Jason Branch, who made a mistake a few minutes ago, it appears he made a mistake, is now 14th. He's 20 seconds back. And then, of course, Hayes and Shiflett, the two cars are lap down. Complete lap 74 next time by. We're being kind of patient here. I think in the next 5 laps you'll see it pick back up at the stage here. These points are getting more and more important, especially for those who are running up there near the block championship in this Gen 6 car. Appreciate the viewers on this Thursday evening. Hopefully you've had a great week so far. People on spring break now. The weather, Midwest, black and hard. People in Arkansas, people down near Indianapolis getting hit pretty decent. Memphis. Somewhere over in that area. Those people are up there. On the see the reports and stuff right now. Look at Scott Wise bringing that outside lane to life. With McKinney there behind him, with Martin Wilson behind him, Greg Thompson back into the picture in that 08 car. And then Gilbert apparently has his internet fixed now as he's cleaned back up in the outside lane. Ooh, Wilson in the wall gets a little tight. Oh, in the wall again. I think he threw himself in the wall that time to not cause an accident. Good driver awareness there. Very easy to pull the car off the wall and then you get tangled up with other people. Instead, he just hung it right and threw himself in the wall to off others. On pit road now, so unscheduled stop number 23. Likely to get damage fixed here. We come to the white flag in stage number 2 next time by. Remember, no stage breaks here, so they keep going after this. Scott Wise, Hal Lincoln, you see McKinney trying to do in that 24 car. McKinney pushing Wise out, gets to the side of him. Across the line, Scott Wise, I think, still won the stage. We're going to replay that one. What a save by Scott. You take the logo off here. Stage winner presented by Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. I think it's Scott. I mean, he's staying in the throttle. He's got them wheels a burning. We get to the start finish line right there. Ooh, that's close. Oh, Scott's got him. Look at that. Now, question here. I guess this would be considered the track, right? Because I believe you got to be on track to get the stage points. But, yeah, Scott through the grass and gets himself a stage win. Presented by Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. I wonder what style. Scott got the stage win, but he falls back to 6th. Car is in one piece, so I guess we'll look at the positives here. Now the 80 laps to the finish. That car you saw up ahead there for a quick glimpse, that is the 28 of Jason Branch that the leaders are coming up on. Pit road turned out to not come to pit road as Ryan Wilson has taken the 23 off the track and behind the wall, unfortunately. Will be the first casualty of the night. Getting back going in outside lane, bringing Joe Wells with him. Branches up ahead, you're like, all right, guys, jump the wreck and done. Xfinity Car Championship. That 4-race block a few weeks ago. Did it in 4 different cars, by the way. Found himself to win, actually driving the car behind him there, that 22 of Travis Gilbert. Of course, Travis with the win last week at iRacing Super Speedway. His car number, not necessarily him, but his car number, won racing every block of the season. So very impressive feat there done by the 22. The Branch is going to lap down, picks up Scott Wise there behind him. Scott's going to try to keep him up there to get the lucky dog as now Scott gets up to the 25 and a spin. Ooh, hard into the wall. And there's the caution. That is needed for the 28 to get the lucky dog. caution waves for the third time. Let's see what happens here. Anyone slides up there. Gets 25, gets it twice, as a matter of fact. Oof. Next, Greg Thompson gets James Hudson also. The 31 got out of shape there a little bit. Going into turn 3 up the view of that. Yeah, and the 12th to the list of cars damaged. On board with Scott here and see. Putting a lot of wheel in it. Turns into the corner. I don't know if it's like you see the car kind of straight. I don't know. He definitely had the wheel turned though at the end of it, kind of the side of the 25. Third caution waves here. And Scott is on pit road along with a lot of the leaders here. McKinney and Hudson all stay out here. I'm going to take this second here. I'm going to let this run. I'm going to grab a drink of water and come back for the restart here. Here we go, back to it. Lap 91. Gilbert outside lane, restarted second. There's the teammates coming together. It's kind of a Lightning team there is McKinney, also a teammate. 3 and 22 stuck together, and all of a sudden the 24 is going to come to pit road. That might be a scheduled pit stop, actually, for the 24 car. And the question now, when does Gilbert come to pit road? He had pitted since 48. Stephen Melnick up to third. Ward up to fourth. McKinney leaves pit road, 14.5 second stop. I'm not sure why he didn't stop at the caution. Mistakenly think that the pitch went turn 4, maybe? I mean, I don't know. Unfortunately, that's what Stefan used to say. For Josh to know and me to find out. On board with Greg Thompson. Really going to see some tight battles with AJ Condon there in the 12 of Picklesheimer. Front 8 cars have all pulled away here from the 9th place car of Sam Taylor. He's got Tim Shiflett there behind him. Or I should say in front of him. Behind him is James Hudson, Branch and Likens. Branch getting a lucky dog back on the lead lap as mentioned. Ryan Hayes, unfortunately, he is still 2 laps down. Is more and more interesting with the McKinney deal. Oh, contact! Didn't go on those Condon. No caution yet. The 12 of Picklesheimer also go, and he gets crunched by somebody. Taylor denying got him. And now the caution comes out. Well, that just worked out well for McKinney in the end. Oh, once again, the 5 gets the outside wall, and he and Scott come together. Picklesheimer gets collected. And unfortunately, Condon had a broken wheel here, and he comes down the track and gets slammed by the 9. Oh, and Branch nowhere to go. You know, 28 degrees of banking pretty hard. That was a lick. Stop a broken car. That's probably what happened here with the 5. He had no control of it, and the 9 just final drive. Well, 55 laps to go, and caution out again. Easy, cowboy. Who came to pit road? catch the pace car here. Obviously, AJ Condon trying to get damage fixed. Or if everybody's got resets here or not, but they'll use those. Leaders get caught up here to the pace truck. Gilbert, I think, came to pit road. Something I'm missing here because I'm looking at telemetry, and it says he pitted at 48, but he is still staying out here. So something tells me he pitted at the last caution, and my stuff's not updated. So that's happened before. So we're just going to go ahead and take the assumption of Gilbert has come to pit road with Jill Wells. So third place on back on pit road, though. Thompson has worked his way back to the top 5 here. Lucky dog should be McKinney, so he'll get back on the lead lap now. So we should get one to go this time by. Very entertaining race as we've seen lead changes, we've seen great battles, we've seen contact, we've seen cautions, we've seen it all in these 100 laps here so far. 62 still to go. As Greg Thompson checks in, hello sir, good to see you. It's Thursday evening. Appreciate the viewers hanging out. Hopefully you're having a great Thursday night, ready for the weekend, first one of April. Wondering why this is a Tuesday night. Got a little bit of a power issue. A dump truck got in a fight with a power pole, believe it or not. Went through all those storms last night. Sunday night had no issue. Dump truck hits power pole, big issues. All right, Gilbert and Wells lead them to the green flag. 61 laps to go. I assume there's about 16 or 17 of you, Greg, don't know how this ends, right? As green comes out. That was a pretty good restart. Almost too good. He's going to get a good run here with Melnick. During this race have been 20 laps at least. And we've had a couple cautions within 10. guys get into a 60-lap run to end this race. The tires are going to come into play here. That's the top 2 guys in the standings. Overall, run 1-2 right now. As a matter of fact, the top 4 guys in the overall standings are top 4 right now. I think I can argue Scott Weisfit. If so, that'd be your top 5 guys. But in this block of racing, Jason Brandt's the points leader, and Jason is back here in the 9th position. He's in this pack. Good comeback for him after falling a lap down. Actually, 2 laps down at one point. Trying to maintain that lead going to Talladega next week in the 500 miles. There, Al Likens and Shiflett. And hold on to his pack. Oh, and Likens is sideways here off turn 4. He's in the grass. I don't see a yellow. Unfortunately, he goes for a little bit of a ride off turn 4. Gets it back going here. Not sure if he's gotten loose or got some help. Off track, Ryan Wilson and AJ Condon. Why Shiflett and Hayes, the only cars now laps down. Al Likens is out of the draft as he just went for a little bit of a spinneroonie off turn 4. Otherwise, this is everybody on the track right here. Early in the run, but in the corners here. Remember, these kind of 6 cars sat right on the track. Likens moves down to the apron, by some down the way. The leaders have let them roar by. Go. Line stops came at the caution at lap 98 there, except for Wells and Gilbert. These guys can make it to at least 130. Race. see that Torque Wrench team getting back together as Thompson, Wise, and 28 branch coming together in that top side. As 39 Award breaks out of line there, thought he was coming to pit road, but maybe had some contact with the 24 1 cars in the outside wall. That's James Hudson. We stay green so far. We got another car back here. It's Melnick, and now caution is out. A little bit argy-bargy back here. Rolls out the caution at lap 114. Here. Melnick's already spun around here. Oh, right there, Conte. Oh, 24 and the 1 and 2 come together. Check up there or something caused a 22 and a 39 to check up. 24 got the 22 get the worst of this. Whoa, hang on left. Everybody come to pit road. Last minute decision by a few of them. Should be 4 tires and fuel here, I would think, for everybody. Thompson actually does not take 4 tires. Instead, either fuel or 2 only. For the 08, he wins the race on pit road, followed by Wells, Gilbert, Picklesheimer, and Shane Ward. So I know I've brought up the Gen 6 points here tonight, talking about Branch trying to hold on. He's got 12 over Greg Thompson. Of course, Gilbert's still right there in the running, 29 points back. Scott Wise, 39 back. Kenny Warren's not here, so unfortunately he'll probably fall out of this running. So easily a 4-horse race, especially if they can get closer to Branch. But next week being a 500 miler with of course, stage racing. Going to be a little bit longer with that all happening. And I was close. It wasn't Scott Wise in 5th. It's Jason Branch. He's 6th, Scott is. So getting close to the top 5 overall in points. But that pretty much a 2-car battle coming to the finish there as of right now. All right, coming to the green this time by with, do some math here in my head, 115 out of 162. And somewhere around the, 44 laps to go. 46 laps to go, sorry. Thank you guys for checking in on this Thursday evening and saying hello. One final race left coming up Tuesday night. One car in the outside lane. That is because everybody came in and topped off under that caution. So we get the old school early 90s restart here as Thompson leads in the green. Back in the heyday, NASCAR had the inside line be the lead lap cars and the outside lane was the lap cars. And they swung it around. If I remember correctly, it was the inside lane was the lap cars. A little throwback there, if you will, as Picklesheimer help from teammate Hudson to the outside. I think the main reason they did that, I don't know the exact reasoning behind it, but I think the logical reason I can think of on top of my head was that you could make the jump on the outside. Saying Thompson. Before that, it actually was the other way around. I don't know exactly when they made the change, but I do remember watching some races like in the late 80s where the actual inside line was the lead lap cars. Somewhere they flipped. I don't know exactly when and why, but that's my guess. Because NASCAR's always had the rule until obviously double file restarts where green come out and you can go to the outside, which is actually the iRacing rule. So Picklesheimer, Hudson, Thompson, Wise, Gilbert now your top five, and look at this, everybody's single file now, first 9 cars. Mason Branch has fallen back to 10th. He's picked up McKinney and Shiflett. I would rather you not, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that one of these 16 cars in this race win. Laps to go. So he gets a little bit of run there, just kind of hanging back a little bit. Got to figure out the right time to move. Preserving your tires as much as you can here, but at the same time, you got to do right in case you get another caution. As we've seen, after about 15 laps or so, the handling comes into play and these cars start plowing. If you get that right front tire heated up too much, get too much wear on it, all of a sudden you start pushing up the track, and we've seen some cars do that here in this race. The Branch and them are in trouble. They're starting to lose 0.8 seconds back. And of course, you don't want to be the first one in line. You don't want to be the rabbit. You don't want to be where Picklesheimer is. He's the rabbit right now. I think that perfect spot is right back here with Greg and Scott and Travis. Right back in there. Necessarily the same Taylor either. Taylor's got to hold on because the way the drag is in these cars, you're that last car in line, you can easily fall off the pack. On the outside like Melnick there. trying to get that outside line going, but he's all by himself. That might actually kind of tell you a little bit of what kind of run you can get out there by yourself, but also at the same time, while the inside line might be checking up a little bit. Of course, Melnick just got side draft. He got too high into the corner there, but he was able to make a run kind of by himself up into the pack a little bit. Likens on now 5 seconds back, so they're just falling back further and further right now. They might be more anticipating an accident or something happening as these cars get racy. The only problem is they're not really getting racy. Back here, Melnick and Taylor just kind of hanging out with each other. On the board, just shy of 200 miles, 250-mile lap mile race, 250-mile lap. That's interesting. Still the two cars off the track, Condon and Wilson. 12 cars in the lead lap. Al Eichen on his own now. Likens, I should say. As he's over here in turn 3 and 4. He's about to get lapped here, I would think. No, he's out there on the track by himself, basically, here. So Al's about 13 seconds away from Branch. And there's the leader, so that's about 13 back from Al to the leaders. Okay, let me get that number right here. Al obviously needs some help, probably some damage on that car. Why he's not able to keep up, maybe. Might have already used his reset. We get one in this series. Myself likes to tell, no, you cannot carry over your reset to the next race. Well, I think that would kind of be creative. Kind of good to send it not correct. Job showing some patience here. Teammates up here in front. You got teammates 3rd and 4th. You got teammates 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's been, for the most part, the teams you've been seeing up front all season long are the ones in the front 7. The difference is subtract Al Likens and add in James Hudson. Jason Branch out too, and put Scott Wise in there. This season's been mostly Branch and
Lapson.
Cars starting to kind of move up a little bit. This is where we're about 20 laps in now into this run. You're going to start to see those cars slide up about a half a groove to a groove. Those are the cars you're going to start noticing the tightness coming into them. Easy counter to that would be, you could think at least, is you arc the car into the corner. Problem is you leave the bottom open, somebody's going to fill that gap, so that option's out the window. You can let off the throttle a little bit. Probably the more logical option, but then you got to worry about somebody running you over from behind. It's tricky. Work with your teammates to get yourself in position to make that move when it counts here. If these guys sit here for another 20 laps or so, the last 4 will be wild. You gotta wonder how much the handling comes into play. Where can you put your car in position? Is Scott Wise already going to the top side? As he might have got shuffled out by Gilbert. Wise going backwards with no help at all. You know what? Wise is doing a great job side drafting back up there. That's like hold my soda, boys. I'm coming back up there. Pit road and likely taking this car behind the wall. So tough break for the 25 is the one almost into the outside wall. Behind the 3 and exactly what he needed. That 39 cars getting a little tight. It allows the 31 to fall in the line. You're going to lose 2 spots in the end. Now it kind of throws a little bit of a curveball in here because now you've got 2 cars from TNT, then you got 1 car from Torque Wrench, then you got 2 cars from G Lightning, and then you got 1 car from Torque Wrench. 5 cars. The way through, separating the pack out a little bit here. Wow, Melnick smacks the wall. Gets hit by the 9. Everybody's okay, it looks like. And somehow Melnick stays up the speed here. Put a different version of his Bobby Allison paint scheme, plus the Nakamura HR car. Get a run right here and get up there to the pack. Nice job by Taylor to help him out. I thought he was going to be out of the draft all of a sudden, but nope, he shoved him right back up to it. Picklesheimer continuing to lead with Hudson, who has not left his back bumper at all. Discord channels trying to figure out what's the right move to make and when. Who's the first one to jump out of line and make that move? Now, if this race were to end, Travis Gilbert would be the winner of the Template Hard Charger Award, but obviously anything can change. He and James Hudson, Gilbert up 11. Melnick would be your next highest at 6. On the pit road. Unfortunately, a tough run for the 47 car as likely a scheduled pit stop. I guess he tried to get himself back on the lead lap. He would have been a lucky dog and back on the lead lap if he can get another yellow. But he's going to fall at least 2 to 3 laps down after this. 13 to go. Nice running that car right on that white line, the stripe line. You see the 2 sliding up a little bit. Quick, 11 to go. And if you're right here, 3rd through 7, is it one of those situations where Gilbert or Joe Wells, you jump out of line together, and once you get that run on the back of the 08, you're the 08, you try to get as best of a run as you can with the 2 and jump out there and hope that Scott can get to you, or know that you're going to fall back to him maybe and he can push. There's a lot of interesting strategy here. As I noticed the 1 car got the wall again. We're in turn 4, but I mean, I was trying to think of ways you get your teammates together with you. Problem is for the 31 is he's got the 39, but now he's got the 9 of Taylor up there side drafting off the 39 and creating his own outside lane. You might have to force your hand a little early here. Way too much in the quad oval. And yeah, here we go. Outside line's coming alive. Taylor made the move, and here comes the G Lightning guys to the outside. And look at Wise to the bottom. He's going to bring this option up too. Because if the Lightning guys went to the top, Wise would go down and join Greg, and that's exactly what we see here. Ron is now Picklesheimer's all by himself as James Hudson goes to the lead. Lines up near Gilbert as they come up on Brian Hayes. could really get interesting if they don't figure out which way they're going. Where do we go, James? Where do we go? Lightning goes to the bottom. He gets out of the way. Class move on his part. And let's see what Hayes does. As Gilbert goes to the front. 6 to go this time. Across the line. As Melnick got the wall again. To go is again around Hayes. Oh, Picklesheimer gets an award, turns him sideways almost. Oh, these cars are not handling the best right now. Shuts the door on Hudson. Hudson gets in the back and Gilbert turns him sideways as Wells goes to the lead. Somehow Gilbert is held on though. I for sure thought the Rusty Wallace Stroax were going to tangle. They race down the back straightaway. Gilbert, Hudson. They get back to the white flag. As they do, white flag, final lap as Gilbert clears. Looking to win his second straight race. Still contact between the 9 and the 2. Does Wells have anything? Travis Gilbert brings it off turn 4. Back-to-back wins. As he gets the Atlanta victory. And for Gilbert, that's win number 7. As Gilbert going to celebrate with the teammates, and for G Lightning is pretty much, I mean, though it was pretty much clinched already, I think we can go ahead and say they've won the team championship. As we'll talk to him at Vet the Track Victory Lane as he starts a Polish victory lap.
It's copyrighted.
Oh, hold on, Casey. You can wait for a little bit. Take a look at the finishing order. Casey's very anxious sometimes. Good dude. Gilbert wins it. Well, second. We're going to hold G Lightning Polish victory lap. Thompson finishes third, and I believe that's going to give him the points lead going into Talladega in what's going to be a very tight battle. Dylan Picklesheimer fourth, Scott Wise fifth, James Hudson ends up sixth. Shane Ward, Sam Taylor, Josh McKinney, Jason Branch, last car in the lead lap in the 10th position. Brian Hayes ends up 3 laps down to 11th. Melnick, Shiflett, Al Likens, AJ Condon going to finish in the 15th position, and Ryan Wilson, the 16th and final finisher. Very interesting. A Mustang, a Chevy, and a Chevy all in one team. And GTR, if you didn't see the last block of racing. I'll peek over here. Yeah, unfortunately, not going to be able to get any of the, at least the winner or anything in victory lane here, but the one thing we can do is get to the point standings. In a second here, we'll get those uploaded and get you where we are going to Talladega this coming Tuesday now officially. I can tell you that Greg Thompson has a 5-point lead over Travis Gilbert in the block racing. Joe Wells with a 50-point lead overall on Travis Gilbert. So Gilbert's going to need a little bit of help. Tell you what, the battle for third in that block, or in the overall standings, is going to be interesting. I know it's kind of stretched out, so I'm trying to show you it the best I can here. But here is the block points as of now. Thompson leads him by 5. Branch falls 24 points back, and not a good run for him tonight. Still kind of wonder what happened with that pit stop issue. But he's going to lose a lot of points here tonight, but he can make them up at Talladega with a good run. He can do what he did at Daytona. Of course, now the problem is his biggest enemy is his teammate next week. Scott Wise, 4th. Looks like unless he gets some major help by some points, he will not win the block. It will be those 3 going for it here next week. 61 right there. That's big for Thompson. He is almost doubling these other guys. The next closest, Al Likens. Stephen Melnick with a whopping -3 bonus points. Overall, as I said, I know it's kind of blurred out and stretched out here, but it's pretty much up to the top 2. But then Branch, Wise, Melnick, all within 15 points here, 3rd to 6th, or 4th to 6th. That's pretty tight. There's some tight battles in there. Of course, Ward's going to, or I should say, Gilbert's going to need some help. Shane Ward's got 3rd locked up. He's been on his own island since about week 1. So that's where it shapes up. But next week is the week. Yeah, we'll talk before the racetracks. We'll do something like that. That's fine. I do appreciate everybody checking in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And again, I apologize for the, well, I know it wasn't my fault, but I do apologize for the issues Tuesday night. And let's go ahead and give some shout outs real quickly. Normally our Victory Lane interview presented by Vet to Track, helping out veterans getting out on track. And as you see, it's kind of in small font here, battling PTSD 1 lap at a time. Basically, PTSD is a very, very dangerous thing that affects veterans, and not only veterans, but human beings of all kinds, including myself, believe it or not. But it is something that we all battle, and of course, veterans themselves battle it 1 lap at a time, and they're most important when it comes to it, because they are the ones that went to war for all of us and help us, allow us to be free. So Salute to Vet the Track for helping those people out each and every week. Of course, they are the Victory Lane sponsor. With Travis going to Victory Lane, that means the Hard Charger Award going to go to James Hudson, I believe, in the 6th position, moving up 6 spots. Congratulations to him. Of course, our stage winners, Wise Guy iRacing graphics sponsor Nose Guys, and last but certainly not least, GB22 Designs. Help out Joe Wells and his painting that he does. And you see them chatting it up a little bit over there in chat, talking about the 500 next week. 500 miles of racing. Will it be a wreck fest? If so, there won't be many cars left. And talking to a guy who has won 2 iRacing Daytona 500s. It is my kind of race, those long distance ones. You got to make it to have a chance to win. To finish first, you have to first finish. That is a mindset that a lot of people don't like to say and don't like to think. They want to get up there and they want to race to lead every lap they can. Next week's a race where it is okay to ride in 5th position for 178 laps if you have to. Because the only lap that counts is lap 188. Okay, we'll throw in lap 94 and wherever the first stage ends too. Because you got to get your points there. But otherwise, lap 188 is the only lap that counts next week. If you want to be a winner of the 500. So think about that for those who are in the league in racing. You got to make it to lap 188 to win. That's what helped me win those 2 500s. I sat back in last almost the whole entire time. I wasn't last when it was over with. So, anyways, appreciate all the viewers. Appreciate sponsors, of course, as I mentioned. Appreciate Scott and Lauren Wise for allowing me to get the broadcast in here on this Thursday evening. Otherwise, I'm going to bed because I have to work in the morning. Hope everybody stays safe with the weather. It's been kicking our tails here the last couple days. And everybody stay safe, and we will see you next Tuesday night for the not only the finale of the Bet the Track Masters of the Draft, but the final broadcast for the Captain eSports Network. It is going to be a fun night. I'm not going to play any negatives on it. It's going to be fun. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday or Thursday, whatever day it is. Remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain eSports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.